Nick, how are you doing?
Doing great, thank you.
Taishi, how's it going today?
I'm good.
How do you feel about how your routine went today?
Yeah, so surprising.
Yeah, congratulations.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Are we like in the frame?
Okay. We got
Don't
word
move back
from
at all.
Ivan that we're going to
You can
start.
move that way.
So,
Actually,
come on over.
just try to play over there.
If you
There's
guys,
too much noise.
Did not see our panel on the team
He's like
today,
He's like
we're
filming.
going to be doing basically the same thing. We're just going to have these guys up here talking for about 40 minutes, and then we will take some questions at the end. Please, Victor, hold your questions until the end. We will make sure to get to them. We appreciate the enthusiasm. So let's have a round of applause for our panelists today. We have Paloma, Nick, and Taishi. Thank you guys for joining me. And these guys are here to talk about... Sorry.
TJ.
TJ is here as Taishi's interpreter if need be. So thank you, Taishi. Or thank you,
Thank you, TJ.
So I guess to get started, let's just go down the line, starting with Paloma. And so you three are great Footbag promoters. So why don't you just speak a little bit about how you guys are promoting Footbag, how it's going, some of your approaches. So take it away, Paloma.
Hello. I have to hear. You can hear?
A little louder?
Okay. So, in my experience, for me, the football freestyle is helping me a lot to promote Footbag. For example, I go to some football training camps because they got me because of football freestyle. But then, in my workshops, I just switch to Footbag. I don't ask the managers of this, and they love it. So, yeah, so the thing is that now I tell them the idea that the next year they can buy Footbags to every kid that is in the training camp, so they can have like time to kick because, for example, when they have free time, they don't have a soccer ball, so and they want to do something. Yeah, so for example, I can suggest that if you have a friend that is playing freestyle football, so you can make like a team with him and you can do this together. And also, you have these kids interested, some of them, but yeah, we need more tutorials in more languages. Like for example, in Spanish, they ask me all the time on Instagram. But the thing is that I don't have like the editing skills and everything to do all the things. So I quit my job, and for the last 3 months I have been doing just football freestyle shows and Footbag, sometimes shows and selling bags.
Cool, thanks, Paloma. Nick, you are the current marketing director of Footbag, so you want to talk about how that plays into your own promotion and stuff that you do on the side as well?
Sure thing. So I think a big part of what I do, I host the Instagram Footbag, or the Footbag Instagram, and what we do is we share different videos from players that we see from all around the world and just try to get people interested. And we've got over, I think it's about 1,500 followers and a good handful of those actually aren't real freestylers yet. They see it, they like the videos, they comment, they say, wow, this is crazy, I want to get into this is cool, how can I, what shoes can I get? So we try to answer them, but there's a lot, we really need a lot more manpower with the Instagram. So actually if anyone...
Person power.
Oh, I'm sorry, person power, yes. Man, woman power, yeah, sorry. But yeah, so if anyone's actually interested in helping me run the Instagram, I really want to start getting it kicking again because it was really popular, kicking. So it was really popular for a while, and then it kind of started to slow down because people stopped working on it and everything. But it's really good, and I think it's a really good way to spread the word. We also need tutorials, and I think that's a big problem with it. I'm planning on, so what I have going right now is I'm in a circus. I'm not a clown, but I am in a circus, and we have a big circus space, and I pay part of the lease on that, or part of the rent on that circus space. And what I'm planning to do is use that as my studio to film every tutorial basically, and just try to get everything in one solid spot, whatever website we have going at the time. I'm planning to get a big list of tricks together so people can just say, hey, wow, this, like, what's a vortex? This looks cool. They click on it, they see a vortex, they say, oh my gosh, one day I'm gonna hit a vortex. I wanna learn that. Because that's how I started. I started with Flipsider.com, and I went on the Flipsiders page every day after school, and I just saw like, oh, whoa, rip walk. Oh, that's awesome. Like, what else can I do? And I just hopped around all the videos and saw that. And I think a lot of other kids were, I think a lot of you guys did that as well, and just kind of saw tricks and wanted to learn some stuff, and that's how you got into it. But we don't have a website like that right now, and I think that's what we're missing.
Okay, cool. Thanks, Nick. And Taishi, before we just get into more of the discussion, can we just hear about some of the things you're doing over in Japan?
Konnichiwa.
Konnichiwa.
I'm going to just speak for him. Sure, that's fine. Okay? Yeah, go for it.
I'm going to speak for Taishi, so we can have a better idea of, through his L1, how he feels and what he's doing. Okay, so about 6 years ago, Taishi was working at like a he was working at a retail store, and he had sort of had enough, and so he wanted to quit. And that's when he decided to go pro and sort of start promoting the sport and promoting himself. So one of the first things he did when he decided to go pro was to sort of so he decided to go professional, and one of the first things he did, he said he sent emails or letters to about 500 different companies, sort of introducing himself and saying this is what he's doing and he's looking for sponsorship. Yeah, so the first time he did that, he got nothing back. And then I guess eventually, それ何回も手紙を送って各社で So he sent all of these mails and all of these sort of contacts to the companies, but no one mailed them back. And then he said, like a little while later, after he had sort of said, okay, shit, what do I do? Shoot, excuse me. What do I say? Trying to think of the next move. Then I think some companies like Red Bull contacted him and said, like Umbro, yeah. So after a while, one or two of these companies contacted him. Okay? Yeah, so they would ask him to perform during like sort of break time shows during other events and pay him a little bit of money at the same time. And then as he got experience in that, he started getting better venues and better venues. And then and so he was also thinking that he promoted it at the beginning to promote himself also through social media. So he has like all of his accounts sort of synced, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. He's on everything to try to grab as many people as he can. And he would also, he would think about when he would post videos. And he would try to find the best time, so the time of day when the most people are watching videos or on Instagram, and he'd try to post it then, just to get that initial exposure. That was sort of how he started doing it.
Cool. Thanks, Tyson. So I think all three of you kind of touched upon this as social media. Obviously, social media is really important in 2017. So I guess how do you guys feel about using social media to promote Footbag versus maybe promoting in person? Different kinds of social media. Do you think there's a certain one that's better suited for Footbag that you guys are aiming for? And anyone take it who feels like they want to.
Okay. I think social media is extremely important, but I also don't think that we shouldn't stop playing in public places. I don't think we should stop talking about football. That's honestly how I've gotten a lot of students. I mention footbag and like it's this cool thing that I do and I demonstrate it and then someone's like, hey, that's cool, I want to learn. That's how I get a decent bit of my students. But I think Instagram, honestly, as many people, I've heard a lot of people say that, oh, I don't want to use Instagram because I'm already on Twitter, I'm already on Facebook. But Facebook, it's just a cluster of information and it's great that we have such a good community of footbaggers on Facebook, but the fact is that Facebook stuff gets lost, and it's hard to reach a certain targeted person, or I'm sorry, it's hard to reach a certain targeted audience to promote footbag on Facebook. But when you have Instagram, you can do hashtag footbag or hashtag hacky sack, and now all of a sudden, these feeds are directed like into the people that are going to pick it up. These are the people that are playing hacky sack, that are doing kicks and doing mirages, and they don't even realize what they're doing. They don't realize that we are here right now at Worlds, that we have things like this, you know? So these are just kids that could potentially pick it up, and I think that's the easiest way to get the most players involved with footbag right now is Instagram. So if you don't have an Instagram, I'm just gonna promote it right now. Get an Instagram, post your footage, post hashtag footbag all over the place, and just share the videos and just try to get yourself on Instagram, because we don't have a huge amount of players right now on Instagram. The people we do have we have a strong group of people who do post footage all the time, and we do have people that are randoms coming up and saying, hey, how do I do this? That's cool, you know? But if we have more people, more human power, we'll get more of an audience interested in that, I think.
And Nick, do you have people reach out to you who like know you from Instagram or see you on Instagram and message you and say, hey, how do I get into this more?
Absolutely. And it's hard to get people to stick, but I have actually, I've gone on business trips where someone on Instagram sees that, hey, dude, I was in Oregon last year. He goes, hey, you're in Oregon? I'm also living in Oregon, and I've been following you for like a year now. Would you be interested in like meeting up? I'm like, absolutely, I'll come meet up. And I gave the dude a pair of lavers. He was busy, he just had a kid, so he's still playing and stuff, but he's in like Southern Oregon. But I got a dude into footbag just from Instagram and met up with him, taught him some tricks, and came over, you know? It's really, I don't want to say it's easy, but if you put yourself into it, if you're passionate about getting more people, and if you don't want to see a sport die, and if you want Worlds to keep going, then we have to do this. It's super important. I don't want to make it sound like it's the end of the world, but like, we need people. We need more people.
Join us.
Yeah, I'm agreed. And I also think that we need this online competition that we used to have, because, for example, these students that we have, they need something. They have the feeling that, okay, I am winning something, or I am training for something, or whatever. And also in Instagram, there is something that you can record short videos, and in 24 hours they are stopping. And I am 100% sure that if, for example, you post some stories, your students are going to be like so curious about how our world. Yes, and they can see it. I am doing these videos all the time here, and online videos. So for them, it's like open the window. Also, if they are not here and they are not really like too much interested, but they are gonna watch and they are gonna know more.
And Paloma, I've heard that you have quite a popular Instagram channel. Victor told me otherwise. How many followers do you have on that channel? 3,000. Congrats.
I have 1,000.
So
I'm doing really well.
So are
You said, yeah, 2,000.
so Paloma, are you doing anything differently than maybe Nick described with your own personal Instagram?
Yes. Yes. For example, I am doing just have fun with my Instagram account. I have fun for years. I have been like taking care of my image. Like, for example, I'm a lesbian, everybody knows. And for a lot of time I was taking care of don't show this. But now I do what I want. And people is also kind of interested in this kind of shit. But you know, it's like my life. This is my thing. I play football, so they come follow and they like this. It's okay. Yeah, and every time I go to an event, I try to make photos so everybody knows where I am, like you do. And that's working. I also meet a lot of people. For example, every time I'm making shows in the street, I have a piece of wood with my Instagram written there. So that's the thing, to have more follows, because everybody has the phone, they record you, so you can have more followers and probably someone interested, also sponsorship or something, and also you can have like a professional profile. You can see the hours about more likes or whatever. Then it can go to your fan page. You can promote videos for something like €5 and it goes to, I don't know, 10,000 views easily.
So yeah, Taishi was just saying that. Yeah, so he's got all of these viewers on Instagram, but he said very rarely, if at all, does someone actually contact him to come play. And he said if he had to choose, he said it might, to him, if you had the choice, it'd be better to promote yourself, go out there and promote yourself and say who you are and what you're doing. You know, go to the person. Don't wait for them to come to you because they might not. And I think that's it.
I've seen the same thing. A lot of people are kind of shy about it, and I know I was shy about it, and at first, but I originally contacted somebody and met up with them, and eventually, if somebody's serious enough about it, I think they're going to reach out. But it does help what Taishi was saying to actually go out and promote.
Yeah, I don't know if you watch sometimes some YouTubers or some Instagrammers. I don't know if you know how is this working. Yeah, so people is basically talking about their lives, talking about their sports, if they are related to some sport. But in every single video, they are asking for, okay, leave me a comment, subscribe to my channel. And if you are not saying anything of this, people is not going to do it. You have to make with them some engagement. So I think in Footbag we need a famous person. Really, we need it. Because kids, they feel that they want to be like him and they want to play that sport. For example, Bashek has 10,000 followers.
Is that famous enough that you're talking about, or do you mean someone like a movie star?
A little bit more, but this is okay to start.
So I've been also in contact with some of you may know Blackie Sack, Aflamu Johnson. It's funny, he randomly calls me sometimes like, hey, what's up, man? But anyway, he's like really nice guy, and he actually does play football, or he used to at least, and he's interested in like helping the sport. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to make it this week because he's filming with somebody who I don't blame him for turning down Worlds, because it's a pretty good name. But anyway, so I think I'd like to be talking to him a little bit more about the bag promotion in the future, because if we can kind of team up a little bit more, maybe we can get a bigger audience.
And Nick, I think I've seen some people say like, maybe he's a little too goofy or not quite the right image, but do you think it's a case of like any promotion is good promotion?
I really do think any promotion is good promotion. And I mean, some of you might have seen like the viral dumb picture that went out of me stretching and about to play footbag, and people are, yeah, that. I know, great, cool. But I honestly don't think that's bad promotion, because at least people are it's spreading. The word of footbag is spreading, so even if it's under something that's like, haha, this funny, weird guy is doing this dumb thing, like, it's still footbag. So they're getting the word out there, so it's fine.
I think Taishi, is this loud enough? I think Taishi had a good point. 2 points. So yeah, like what you were just saying, I think everyone is okay. It doesn't matter who joins. I mean, everyone should want to join. But I think, yeah, and I think that what he was saying was you need to target the audience. So he said he'll even go to like old people homes. I don't know if there's a better name for that. And he'll appeal to them as though it were, just a fun little exercise for like rehabilitation or something. And he shows them different ways of kicking that are doing whatever. He'll target people like soccer players as a way to cross-train, so he's going to show them a little bit of a different theme. So he's targeting the people that he's going to. He said he would also target sometimes, middle-aged, 40, 50, 60-year-olds, just as a way to maintain health. And in addition to that, so in addition to targeting the audience, making sure it's available, buying stock, having it ready, letting them know where they can get it. Because then all they have to do is just get it. They don't have to search. Everything's there for them to start. That's a great point.
So Taisha, you mentioned different age groups. Do you guys have any luck with like young kids or 20-somethings? Like, do you target differently depending on who your audience is?
For me, the thing that is like working and the only ones that are interested in is the teenagers, because they can have the food bag in their pocket and they can just go whatever they can play. And the other guys, they are too much into, for example, football or basketball. They already know their sport and they are not interested in having fun only in their phones. And in their sport, they don't have like space for anything.
I guess I've had more luck with like younger. I mean, Nathan Bonslaver is my student, and as you see, he's a beast, and he's going to get really good. So I think I just found him. He reached out to our Facebook page. We were the PSU Footbag Club. He was looking for footbag, and he saw that there was a club page. So maybe that's not a bad idea, making a club page for your actual local footbag club. Even if it's just like 2 people or 1 person, doesn't matter. People are still looking, and if they search, hey, I'm a footbag player near Penn State, and I'm going to search footbag Penn State, they'll find it, So that's a really good way to reach out. You'll pull up some diamonds in the rough, maybe, like Bonslaver. He's amazing. Sorry.
So I think one of the common criticisms that modern freestyle has is that like the freestyle that we saw today is just it's not audience friendly. So how do you guys feel about like how difficult do you play when you're trying to attract an audience? Do you do like tilt lists and throw in a hard trick here and there, or do you just like the kicks? Do you do more football style stuff?
I guess I'm just gonna be honest. I've been performing footbag for like almost 9 years now. And I started contact juggling about 2 years ago. And contact juggling is like crystal ball manipulation, like making it look like it's floating and everything. And I've done street performance with contact at least twice, and I've basically made more money than footbag with like 9 years. And the thing with that is the audience can see what's going on. They don't have to squint their eyes and say, what the heck is that guy doing? Is he Irish dancing? Is he a chicken dance man or whatever? But these people can see what you're doing, and it's at eye level, so it's not like, it's like they get it more. They don't have to guess at what you're doing, I guess. And, but I think there's something to be said about that, because there's gotta be a way to make footbag more like, I guess, like contact juggling or something like that, or something,
So do you play with performance bags when you're specifically to promote?
I do play with performance bags when I promote, and I am in the circus, as I said, so I've been doing like small footbag performances with the circus, as well as my other props, and just trying to show people what footbag is and everything. I had a really interesting experience the other day that was kind of upsetting as the marketing director. I entered a Lancaster's Got Talent competition, which is the town that I'm from, or the town that I live in right now, and my video for the submission was me doing contact juggling, and then a guy comes up and says, hey, no contact juggling, takes the ball away, handcuffs me, and I say, okay, I'm sorry, blah, blah, blah. And then I take 2 footbags out of my pocket, and I start footbagging, and I juggle 2 footbags and stuff, and I thought it was really cool. A bunch of people thought it was cool. I heard back from the talent company, and they actually told me I was the 21st and out of like 50 or something, and they were only selecting 20. And in these 20, they said I didn't get in because I did footbag. And that was kind of like a shot to the heart. Yeah, I know. I don't understand that either. but I just wanted to mention that because that's a big talent company, and they literally just told me, well, we liked the crystal ball thing, but we saw the other thing, and it's just hacky sack. And I was like, oh my god, this is like... So that was kind of a blow, but we need to figure out how to fix that and make it look more... And I used demo bags in the video. They were big Jordan Moore demo bags, and I don't know, it was weird. So, I don't know, we gotta work on that. Something's gotta give.
Yeah, for me, always every time I go to some talent competition or whatever for the television, I always do a football freestyle and then I play football. And that way it works. Just football, it is really not hard. And I only play like really easy things with a really big bag. And yes, I think for me, I cannot promote football without the football thing. For me, it's like this, and I suggest that if you want to earn some money or if you want to do something, you can make a team with a football freestyler. It's gonna be fun for you. It's gonna be fun for him. So you're gonna be more complete than just a football freestyler. I have more with myself, so I'm lucky. Yeah, but really, it's working. They can help the sport.
I think a really big thing about it is also, I mean, these people that judge my talent competition, they said that about Footbag because they don't have the eye for it. I personally think, so I randomly met up with this player from Maine, and I never met him before, but I reached out because I saw that he lived in Maine on the Freestyle Facebook page. He's never really played with too many other players, but the dude was basically toeless. A strong toeless, a lot of gillless and stuff. But anyway, so this guy named Lucas, and he was a really nice guy, and he basically said, I was really interested in like hardcore sports growing up. I was doing like basketball, soccer, volleyball, hockey, and I was like, well, that's kind of weird you got into Footbag then. He's like, in a way, but I've always kind of thought of Footbag as artistic. It was a sport for the artistic athlete. And I feel like that says something huge. The fact that raise your hand if you think you're an artistic athlete or you're a creative athlete. Absolutely. Yeah, Rory, you own it. So, I mean, I really feel like that's a big thing. Because we're not just flow artists. Because flow artists don't really have that athletic aspect to their game or their prop. But we have that. We're still a sport. So I feel like we need to try to figure out how to promote the sport to more artistic athletes. And I don't quite know how to do that yet, but I feel like that's a big step in the right direction, just realizing that we are artistic athletes.
I personally think we just need to make noise. We need to make a lot of noise.
Yeah.
But Taishi thinks, most importantly,
About you.
like when he's going for performances, like he said right off the bat, no miss, don't drop. Don't drop. That's the first thing he thinks. Do a routine where I'm not going to drop. And then sort of doing different tricks that the audience can see, okay, that one was easy. Oh, that double around the world, that was more difficult. He went twice around, sort of a thing. So tricks that the public, not our trained eyes, but just the public eye can understand. Yeah, because everyone thinks that we're just doing the same thing again and again. They can't tell the difference. Things like two-bag. Two-bag is really sort of the audience can see what's happening. There's two bags on one foot, sometimes two foots.
So do you guys fight the hacky sack thing? Do you do the normal spiel about tissues and Kleenex, or you just give it to us like it's hacky sack, it's cool?
Sometimes I give into it. Mostly if they say, oh, that's cool, you do hacky sack, I just say like, I kind of explain the tissues Kleenex thing. I guess it's 50-50. Sometimes I just realize that it sounds conceited to explain the Footbag hacky sack difference. But sometimes if they're actually generally interested in it and they stick with it for a session or something, I do explain the fact that there is a difference, I think a map and finding a player, say like, okay, you're from Florida, you're from Tampa. You look and you say, oh no, there's a player in Tampa. I'm gonna contact him because he's got his contact information there. Bam, you know, you got a club set up. Hopefully they're interested enough. But I mean, we really need something like that because I just think footbag's way hard to learn by yourself. And I mean, I would have just been a solo hacky sacker, and I never would have been able to learn rip walks or anything if I didn't meet up with my people. Like I met up with Bob Reefer about 9 years ago, and he was just a super nice guy. We went out to like hang out after sessions and stuff, and he just made it like really cool to be a footbag player. And I felt like a new person. Like I felt like I had found my thing, you know. And I think a big thing about that is inviting your new people out to, you know, have dinner after the session or hang out and watch a movie or something. That's what we did at Penn State. Penn State guys, what's up? Yeah. See that? This is Penn State right there. That was my club. We had 8, not my club, but we had about 8 serious freestylers at this place all the time. We'd always meet up for dinner at the end. We'd always watch videos on like Fridays and stuff. We'd always party and stuff. And like, it was awesome. This was my group of friends, but it was my group of freestylers. So we need to figure out how to establish that in like every state and every country. And that would be the global takeover of footbag.
So what was the problem with the map project the first time you did it? Why didn't it take off, do you think?
The map project was just really difficult to keep going because every time, okay, so honestly, I took so much time out of my life. I had no job at the time, so I said, might as well just make a giant map and look. I just creeped on like every footbag page. I creeped on creeped on every page, every footbag player's page, and just found the link to their page, plotted them on the map, and then just kept going. And there were people who I didn't even know, but if they were part of the freestyle page, I found them, copied the link, pasted it, and plotted this whole map. And eventually I released it and said, hey, if you're not on this map already, please feel free to plot yourself so people can find you, if you want people to find you. And people were doing that for a little bit there, and but it was just so hard because I had some people say like, they plot their point in like Idaho or something. And it's like, it said like, guy from Idaho, and then there was no contact point, and I was like, you don't get it. Like, for people to contact you, you have to have contact information. So there were people doing that, and like someone would do like a smiley face on one, and just, people didn't get it, that this was for, like, to help them gain footbag players in their community and stuff. And eventually, it just got way too hard because it was me like editing, going in every few days, figuring out the new players at the bottom of the list, and we tried to color code it too. But then some people would do like, if it was all blue dots, it would be like someone would do a red dot, and then I have to go in and change that, or like they would use the wrong format, and I just wanted it to look good. So it was basically me just trying to edit this whole thing constantly, and I'm not gonna lie, I kind of gave up on it at some point because I got a 404 error and it said page can't be found. And I think Sean Nyman actually copied it, and I looked at it again after a little while, and there was just a ton of people that plotted their points but didn't do it right, or the same thing, like no contact info, and it just got to be too much. But Steve Goldberg one time, after I released this map, he said, hey, that's neat, but I did this already I haven't released it, but I have something very similar. So what he showed me was, it was a map of all the footbag players who had signed up on footbag.org. And if they were from, you know, Minnesota or whatever, their plot would come up in Minnesota. And if they were from Florida, their plot would come up in Florida. And you'd have their email because it was it was an automatic, like, basically, if you signed up to footbag.org, it would put your plot on the map immediately, no matter where it said, or wherever it said you lived. And that was amazing. That's kind of why I stopped the map too, because I realized there was something so much better that Steve had in mind, and there was something that it would just be perfect. And I'd love to see that be released eventually, because that would solve the whole problem of people not being able to find people to play with.
All right, so I think unless Paloma and Taishi, if you have anything to add, we'll open it up to questions. You guys, nothing right now?
Do that with a ball?
Yeah, so like, I think another important point that Taishi said was, I'm not regret saying that. Like even though the footbag, like for example, the Japanese Footbag Association, they run tournaments 2 a year, but they're always in hard to find places, smaller rooms or, closed off locations. So he thinks that it's important to try to find a spot to play in the open where more people can see. I mean, that's another way to sort of reach the public is to play in outdoors or, play somewhere more public.
Of course, we need to play the outside so we can have like more people going across and just watch us. But there is another thing that, for example, if there is a concert or something and we have the competition just before people is going to be there because something else is happening there, and we can like use these people, and probably they don't know, but they will be interested, or probably not. But that can be a way. We can go to festivals or things like this. I think we are small, and if we go to another small thing, so we get bigger.
TJ? Yeah, does that have something else, or do you want to?
I think there's one more thing. Sure, go ahead. I was zoned.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think with Taishi, because he thinks a sort of advantage that he had was that he was doing it for work, to live, to make a living. And so by quitting his job and doing this professionally, he thinks that he wanted to show, he basically wanted to do something that would make people think he's kind of weird or crazy or sort of extreme, because one, it's easy to remember who they are, but also that he was serious. This was what he wanted to do. This is a serious thing that's happening, and he's part of it. Yeah. Yeah. And another thing too, when you're promoting yourself, and you're doing it like that, you have to win. You need to get first. This is from Tyson. You need to get first, or else you're not going to get the promotion. Like, you need to not only walk the walk, but or the other way, talk the talk, like walk the walk. Nailed it.
Yeah. Or you have to be a woman that also works. They love that.
Did I say man only? I hope I didn't. Sorry.
I have one more thing to add to what Paloma said. She mentioned that it's better for playing outside, something like that. But it's great to play outside in front of people and in public, but it's also great to play outside in front of people in public in the same spot at the same time at the same day, because people don't people don't always come up to you the first time they see you playing. It's a super intimidating sport, especially if you're good as you guys are. And it's crazy to just have a random person come up to you the first day and say, hey, I want to learn that. But if they see it again and again and again, you become that guy that's really good at, or that guy or the girl that's really good at hacky sack. It all of a sudden becomes so much easier for them to come up to you, in my opinion.
Yeah, so you have to play always in the same thing, and Sergio and me, we make an experiment because we sell, I don't know, like 10 bags at that moment, and we start posting, okay, today we are going to train at 5 o'clock in this place if you want to join. And yeah, we have like, we do it 3 times, and one of the time we have 2 people, and we have to do it more because, it's on the Instagram, so they must know.
All right, thanks guys. So we're going to open it up to audience questions, and I think let's just try to keep it concise and directed at these guys so they have something to respond to, please. Yeah, Brian, what's up?
Yeah, so I'll bring up maybe the elephant in the room. How do we promote the sport to people not just white men?
All right, so the question is, how do we, I guess, diversify the people in footbag, because it is majority white men, is the question.
That is a very good elephant in the room.
So, for example, when I go to the training camps, there was a lot of black child. That's because, you know, they are mixed, and in that spot I find them all. Also, they were from South America, from England. Yeah, they are mixed, and when you go to the schools, they are mixed.
Paloma, do you feel advantage, disadvantage, no difference being a woman and also promoting footbag? Do you think it helps? Do you think it hurts you?
Yeah, to be a woman and promoting footbag is, yeah, I think it's working more, because they, you know, in this age, they are trying, like, so the women will get the same as men, so they are like trying to take the woman same level as the men, so yeah, they feel like good if they book you instead of booking a guy. Yes, for me it's working, I'm happy with this.
Yes. I think he was just saying, if we, like, for example, if we wanted to get more Chinese people to play, go to China and promote the sport. Yeah, so somewhere like China was where, I mean, we saw Bruce Lee, you know, kicking is they have a, I mean, shuttlecock is a sport, there's, that in Southeast Asia too, like, they're already into things like top draw and shuttlecock anyway.
So like you were saying earlier, like go to the people, don't wait.
Yeah, go to the people.
Like when Dan Boyle went to Chile, I think that's right. Like,
Yeah,
pick a spot where footbag was not
yeah.
popular and went there and go promote.
Yeah.
Thanks for the question, Ryan. Anyone else? Is that just your question, Kwa? Shoes, question mark?
Why labors?
Everybody knows labor's back. We need, like, you know, some kind of alternative. So I would love to ask this question specifically at Taishi. Because you have promoted so many people, what shoes do you recommend they use?
Okay, so this is specifically to Taishi in Japan. What shoes do you recommend people use? And then also Nick and Paloma, you guys run into this problem. How do you tackle it? We'll wait for Taishi's answers.
Yeah. In Japan, at least, it's maybe as hard to get good labors. But Taishi is at the point now where, before he started doing this, you couldn't find a foot bag in a shop, and so he started there and he made foot bags and he got them into shops. So now there's foot bags in shops, but the shoes he's still working on. So yeah, he's at that point where he's trying to get. And then, at least at the beginning, it might not be necessary for labors if you're talking about kicks, stalls, leg overs, some simple tiltless. And then he said often if there was a student that you could see talented, he would find the labors himself, or find the shoes himself and give them to the person.
Yes. For me, something that is really important, we have to show people that they don't need the shoes. For example, every time I'm playing, I'm doing a workshop, I am using my football freestyle shoes, which, you know, to start is okay. And you are not talking to people about shoes, no, only if they are really interested, if they come and they train every session. Because if you are telling them that, okay, for this sport, when you get pro, you need this special thing, you have to don't talk about this. If the person is interested, he go eBay or whatever, or we can post something in freestyle footbaggers or whatever, with my kids. So for example, I show them that I play in those shoes. So if I can do it, they can do it. Something like this, because otherwise they say, it's because the shoes. No.
I do. You're right, we don't need the shoes, but I think as soon as we do get another set of shoes, like Quantums, I know Dexter's working on a Quantum project right now. As soon as we do get those, I really foresee that there's going to be a pretty big explosion in footbag. The reason I say this is because when I was first getting into footbag, I didn't even know freestyle existed, but I knew that I found hacky sack shoes online, and I knew I was going to dump my wallet out to get a pair of those. Because that is awesome. A sport as small as hacky sack footbag, like we have our own shoes, I'm in. Like this is gonna be a shoe to help me get better at hacky sack and like, you know, do cool tricks for the kids in my school that I'm like hacky sacking with. So I think as soon as kids realize that there's another Quantum out there, people are gonna buy them. People are gonna go find the next shop. So I guess it'll be sold on maybe like Freedom Footbags or Planet Footbag or something. But they'll go to that shop, they'll see the shoes, they'll say, hey, cool, these awesome shoes are here. Oh wow, there's like pro bags. And then maybe we can attach like a map to that site. So these kids who are buying those shoes are saying, hey, these shoes are cool, hey, these bags are great. Maybe there's someone like me in my area who bought the shoes and the bags. I can meet up with them and learn some tricks. Boom.
Thanks, Nick. Let's take one or two more. Christian, trying to put that one out.
Would you consider footbag an extreme sport?
Question is, would you consider footbag an extreme sport? I guess like skateboarding or BMX?
Yeah, so why isn't it in the X Games?
So, do you consider footbag an extreme sport? And if so, why isn't it in the X Games?
I think it's not there yet because we are only a few people playing this. If it gets popular, probably they consider. But if we are not a lot, we are just some random people picking something.
Okay, so I think we need to market towards kids because the kids are like our future. So if we get a lot of kids involved, give them a sandbag or whatever, they look up tutorials online, and then they hit, you know, a Mirage and they get really excited. They stick with it. Yeah, I don't know.
You're totally right, Christian. Good explanation on that. I think one of the reasons it's not in the X Games is because I feel like footbag has so many gray areas where everyone's debating, like, okay, so is a Voodoo, Paradox Miraging Synth Mirage, is that a 4-ad or is that a 5-ad? Well, that would really depend on if X-Dex is counted, and if X-Dex is counted, blah, blah, blah. But if that's in the X Games, then it's like, it needs to be either a 4 or a 5. Otherwise, there's no way to tell if a guy who did another 5-ad trick versus a Merlin is going to win, you know? So there's gotta be this strict point system, and we haven't nailed that down yet. But I would love to see it in the X Games at some point.
TJ, the Taishi,
He basically just said that. He would love for it to be there. And TJ thinks we're just not making enough noise yet.
Okay. Okay, let's take one more. Okay, let's take two more. And then you, Victor, I promise. How about you over here on the left? Yeah, I think you guys covered off on that. You know, concerts,
can I add
festivals. Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Taishi had mentioned this earlier, and I think you pretty much nailed it, James. Taishi tries to focus specifically. He goes for all age groups, but he said he tries to focus on about that age, 12, 11, or 10, because they have the longest, lifespan in the sport, and they're right at that age where they're choosing something to start to hook onto, and there's no reason why it shouldn't be football. So it might be worth it to really think about targeting that audience and how best to push them, into the sport and through it, because.
Oh, James, I think we're actually we're gonna wrap up with Victor's question. So, what do you got, Victor? Is it a question or is it a comment? Can you make it concise?
I have a question. Hello. Because you are promoting partly yourself on the social media, and I think the social media is the way we should go because we are not that popular there. We are starting Facebook running very well, but Instagram is mostly personal thing. And obviously you became popular and starting to have like a nice life out of it, which is good. And you could be even a bigger star if you are showcased by the official channel of Footbag, like you said, like Global Footbag Community or like IFPA, whatever we call it. So can you imagine that you work together worldwide? We give you like 3 more people, natives for example English, and we have like a content going regularly in different languages. The map is posted, your show is posted, your training is posted. We post some other, like, we do this competition, even we can get a funding for sending the bags for the winners of consecutive kicks, winners that kids are recording themselves or whatever. So I think the question is, can you work together for the global sport, not just only for your accounts, more or less?
Yeah, so I think working together must be a really good idea. And you ask, what do we need? For example, I think it can be like a really professional thing that we can have a document written about, for example, to go for schools to do something, like with the global freestyle brand written in there, like, okay, my name is blah blah blah, and I am supported by this guy, so we look like professional thing. So yeah, the IFPA logo or whatever. So for example, a few things, like something that kind of doctor write about, like the benefits of hacky sack or of Footbag, about the coordination skills and everything. So if, for example, if I am trying to get booked by a training camp, I can give them this document, and we can have this document in different languages, so we can use them all of us and all the people that they want to, for example.
So Nathan Taishi, to wrap up, how do you feel about global promotion, joint promotion, and what do you need to do it?
We need people who really want to see a change in the sport. I mean, like I said, honestly, if you want to help me with the Instagram, if you want to help a few other people and myself with the Footbag Instagram and just stay on top of things, that would be great, because we really need more human power with it, and I can't do it by myself because
How can we help?
Yeah, Quad, thank you, awesome. And if you guys could step up, that would be excellent. So that's where I am with that.
I don't know the Instagram account that you have. I know yours, but I don't know like the other thing. So it's kind of weird that, yeah, I don't know. And I'm checking some hashtags, so I don't know.
I'll show you as soon as we finish.
Okay, and TJ?
Yeah, one thing that, basically, he said money. Money to get a team, like a promotion team, to go to China, for example, promote the sport. So money to sort of, I guess for the promotion team, what was the other thing? Help for running tournaments, running these events, getting more financial support for that. I mean, what our average age is like 23, 22 straight out of college. Don't have a lot of money on the team. And of course he wants to do it. Of course, yeah, we should all be working together.
All right, so Victor, if you supply the cash, these guys will get it done.
It's done. It's recorded.
Okay, so I think we're going to call it there. So let's have a round of applause for our panelists. Thank you so much, Paloma and Nick.